What's good, everybody? It is Mighty Man DGBA here, back again with another week of the DGBA. Actually, the final week of the normal season, and it is against Jermoi. Now, you may notice that this big play button in the middle of the screen here. That is because we've already played the game. The game is done. However, it was done really late Friday night. I couldn't do voice comm at the time because it was like midnight. But we played the game anyway, so I'm going to just commentate over the replay as we go. I thought I'd do that just because of how just ridiculous this match was. Obviously, me being from Britain, Jermoi being from Australia, big time difference. So I was playing this at about midnight. He was playing this at about 8 in the morning, I think. So both of us made a lot of mistakes in this match. And we're going to kick off. He leads with his Ambipom. I lead with my Araquanid. I didn't really know what his start was going to be. I was thinking maybe the Alolan Marowak, because that can set up rocks. I was thinking maybe something like Mega Scissor. But in the end, he does lead with his Ambipom, and he leads off with a powerful Fake Out with Life Orb. So of course we flinch from that, and now here I was kind of expecting a Last Resort to come out, partly because I've been drafting for a new league, which you guys will see that episode soon. I've been drafting for another league, and Fake Out Last Resort came up, or Sleep Talk Last Resort as well. That came up, so I was expecting Last Resort from this Ambipom. I switch out Araquanid here, and I go into the Alolan Muck. He actually goes for the U-turn, which doesn't do as much damage as I thought. He goes into his Alolan Marowak, which I thought was an interesting choice, considering we are a Dark type, he is a Ghost type. I just go straight for a knockoff, which does 99% of his health. Knocks off his Choice Band, which was kind of unfortunate that we didn't get the knockout there, but it was only something like a 6% chance. However, we do get the Poison Touch proc off. He goes for Earthquake, doesn't kill us, and then his Marowak goes down to the Poison. So that is a nice kill for Alolan Muck. So next up, he goes into Shaman. Now, I noticed that some of my team is very weak to ground, that being Heatran, Alolan Muck and Manectric, and I'm expecting the Earth Power here from the Shaman, so I decide that rather than switch anything in, I didn't want to switch in Latias if he went for a Leech Seed, predicting the switch, just because it's nice to keep Latias as full as possible for the Mega Scissor. And I didn't want to switch anything else into like a Air Slash or something. So I decided I'll just keep mucking. I'll go for a Poison Jab, as he makes a big mistake, forgetting that Alolan Muck is Dark type. He goes for the Psychic, which of course doesn't affect us. We go for a Poison Jab, do a nice 83% to his Shaman and get the Poison. Poison leaving his Shaman now on 5%. And now I know he's going to have to go, or he's going to go for the Earth Power to finish off our Muck. So I switch out into Latias, which is of course a Levitate Mon. Avoid the Earth Power, and his Shaman goes down to the Poison as well. So 2 kills for Alolan Muck in this game. Very, very nice indeed. Now here he goes into his Torrent Greninja, so I go back into Alolan Muck just to take the hit, sack him off, so we get a clean switch, and we find out that his Greninja is also Life Orb. So we bring in Araquanid here because it has the Leech Life. He goes for Gunk Shot, not sure why, to take 35% from that, and we finish off the Greninja with a Leech Life and get our HP back. Pretty much all of it, I think, maybe even a little bit more. Now he goes back into the Ambipom. Going to do the same thing. We go into Latias. Goes for the fake out. There's a lot of damage, 37% in there, but takes the Rocky Helmet damage and the life orb. I did forget to mention that Latias is Rocky Helmet in this match. We also had Paso Berry Heatran, just for the Greninja, but now the Greninja's gone, so it's kind of useless. He goes for the U-turn on Araquanid, and goes into his Scizor, which is his Mega. Now, those of you that watched the game against Parksy will remember the Araquanid set I had to take out his Aggron and his Amoonguss, which was the Infestation Soak Toxic set. So here I have the same set. I go for a Soak, I believe. I go for a Soak on his Sword Stance, which is a little bit scary. And then the next turn, I believe he goes for another one. Yeah, he's at +4 now. We get the Toxic off, which is kind of okay. And then I think the next turn he goes for the knockoff and takes out our Araquanid. Now here I go into Manectric, because I know if I Mega Evolve, I can take its attack down one stage, we'll live a Bullet Punch if he has it, and we can knock it out. However, as you will see, I completely forgot that I had soaked this Mega Scizor, and I went for the Flamethrower, thinking Flamethrower will take out Mega Scizor. However, Flamethrower will not take out a Water type Mega Scizor, and we should have definitely gone for a Thunderbolt here. So we completely misplay and throw what could have potentially been a nice 4-0 victory here by going for the Flamethrower. His Scizor knocks us out with a knockoff. I have a slight epileptic fit in the chat. I then go into Tapu Bulu, which not the best idea, because obviously I set up the grassy terrain for his Mega Scizor here. But I was thinking, if I go into Tapu Bulu, then it helps my Heatran if I bring that in. Also, I was thinking, oh, maybe he doesn't have Bullet Punch. Maybe he has like U-turn and something else, and maybe it'll help me a little bit. But no, he goes into Scizor. Sorry, he doesn't go to Scizor. I go into Tapu Bulu. He Bullet Punches me, knocks out my Tapu Bulu. However, even with the grassy terrain, he's taken a lot of damage from Toxic. I go into Latias because it of course has the Rocky Helmet. I have Hidden Power Fire, so I think if he roosts I can hit him with a Hidden Power Fire and still probably finish him off with the Toxic. He instead just goes for a Bullet Punch, takes out my Latias, he takes Rocky Helmet damage, and then he takes the poison damage, so the Mega Scizor goes down. So we are now left with our Heatran versus his Ambipom and his Zapdos, and here he kind of misplays a little bit going into the Ambipom. If he'd have gone into Zapdos, I think he 2-hit KO'd me, and he outsped, so he would have won the game. However, he goes into Ambipom here. While we still have the grassy terrain up, he goes for the Fake Out, which doesn't do much, and we get most of that back with the grassy terrain. And here he goes for U-turn, which is brilliant because that means I now know that he doesn't have low kick on his Ambipom, and that because he went for U-turn, he cannot hit this Heatran. I'm still really mad about how I threw the you can't see actually the chat here. I was so mad that I messed up with Manectric. He U-turns out into his Zapdos. However, I went for a Flamethrower, and his Zapdos takes a powerful 59% from this. So I now know that I finish this Zapdos off in one more hit, or he can only get one hit on me. Even if he starts roosting, I'm still going to do more damage. I get a little bit more grassy terrain recovery. He goes for the Thunderbolt, takes me down to 40%. I Flamethrower and knock out his Zapdos. And then he brings Ambipom back in. I know that his Ambipom can't hit me because he went for the U-turn before. He fakes me out again, does 13%, leaves me on 34 though. And then the next turn, he goes for the fire punch because he knows it's over. He knows he can't win. I go for the flamethrower and knock out his Ambipom, and we pick up the 1-0 win over Jermoi. So both of us making some big mistakes in this match. Him psychicking my muck, forgetting it was a dark type. Him not going straight into Zapdos on the Heatran. Me obviously going for Flamethrower on the Mega Scizor. If I hadn't have done that, I'd have been in a really good position. But we still just about came away with the win. It was a great battle with Jermoi. I think unfortunate, really, that we had such I think he was unfortunate that he had a poor season. I think time zones didn't help him really in terms of having to battle people at awkward times. I know my brain was a bit frazzled coming into this one, and his was too because he'd only just woken up. We both made these teams in about 15 to 20 minutes. You can tell from the fact that I just reused an old Araquanid set. But I'm all in all a disappointing season in terms of results. But I think outside of the first week or two, I played decently. Once I sort of got used to my team and knew the weaknesses and the strengths of it, I played around it a lot better. I'm looking forward to the next season of the DGBA. Hopefully I do a bit better, maybe get into playoffs again, worm my way in, hopefully go better than 2 and 5 in the season. But first up, and you guys will be seeing this coming very soon, we have an off season that I have sort of helped organise in the DGBA, where it is an LC, a small LC league with there's just 8 of us in it at the minute. So the 8 people are myself, Pac-Fan, Shiny, Gengar Raichu, MX3, Spoink, Black Hammer and CMR. Everyone plays each other once. There's 2 divisions. One division is MX3, Spoink, Black Hammer and CMR. The other division is Pac-Fan, Shiny, myself and Gengar Raichu. The top 2 from each division will go into the semi-finals, and then the winners of that will go into the final to see who wins the LC Cup off season. Our roster is fairly good, in my opinion. We have done some trades of some of these mons. Basically everyone has one trade before the season started and one trade halfway through the season. I forgot to mention, rosters completely randomised. We picked one captain that we wanted on our squad. I picked Munchlax because Munchlax is cool. The captain is the only mon that is allowed to be a Z user. It's also not allowed to be traded. Our roster was Fletchling and Magnemite in Tier 1, Stunky, Snover and Onyx in Tier 2, Flabebe, Grubbin and Nidoran Male in Tier 3, and Fennekin, Rhyhorn and Spheal in Tier 4. However, we did make one trade before the season started, and we traded out Grubbin and we managed to get Hippopotas, something I'm excited about because Hippopotas is a bit of a defensive monster. So just to go over our roster again, that is Fletchling, Magnemite, Stunky, Snover, Onyx, Flabebe, Hippopotas, Nidoran Male, Fennekin, Rhyhorn, Spheal, and our captain Munchlax. So I have a few mons in there that link with Hippopotas in terms of the Sandstream. We have quite a bulky team, I think, and a little bit of power as well. And hopefully Z Munchlax can do some work. The main threat in this competition is definitely MX3. He has a ridiculous team. He's got Mienfu, Snubble, Elekid, Natu, Lilip, Zorua, Hoppip, Pampor, Roltz, Slugma, and Caterpie. So really, other than his tier 4s, his team is really powerful and something that we have to worry about. Nobody really has like a bad team just because of how it worked out, but it'll be interesting to see how we do. So those episodes should be coming up fairly soon. That off season will be starting as soon as people like MX3 are finished with the normal season playoffs. I'm not sure when that will be. Hopefully for him it'll be a couple of weeks. Hopefully for us it'll only be like a week or two, so that we can kick on with this league. So it's going to be 7 weeks of normal season, and then hopefully an extra week or two of playoffs. But thank you all for watching. Thanks for following this season. It's been nice bringing you some videos, even though sometimes I did forget to record them, or I didn't have time to record them. Thanks to everyone involved with the DGBA for playing this year. I don't think we had anyone rage quit halfway through, which is always nice. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the LC off season of the DGBA. But for now, this is Mike Man WBA of the West Bromwich Altarias, signing off.